Now that we've added a piece of text into our app, the next natural step would be to add an image. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go to the element catalog or object library in the bottom right of the screen. This holds a lot of stuff that we can add to our app for functionality. We're wanting to add an image, so type an image. And you'll find an image view pops up. Go ahead and click drag that into your app. You can follow along the blue guidelines to resize or position it. I'm going to resize it simply like a text box by dragging the corners. Nice. Now that it's positioned, I'm going to link it to my code, and I do that by holding down Control, click, drag, and you can either put it above or below the previous link we made. I'm going to put it below, right under it. I'm going to name it My Image. Don't touch anything else. Just make sure this says UI Image View, and click Connect. Great. We have our image linked. The next step is to change the image that is inside of here. Right now it has nothing actually. It's a placeholder, much like UI label is. So there's no image inside of it, but go ahead and download one from Google and put it into your downloads folder. Alright, and when you do, go to your downloads folder. You should see it there. I have one of an Eclipse. We recently had one. A total Eclipse actually, that's pretty cool. Go ahead and click on Assets now in the left hand sidebar. Assets.xcassettes. This folder here holds a lot of different things. In this case, an image, but if you're creating a video game, this would hold 3D models, sprites, environments, lots of different stuff. But in this case, just a simple image. Go back to your downloads folder, click on the downloads icon. This is not an image, by the way. This is just your downloads folder. Click on it, then drag your image, which in my case is a .jpeg. That's totally cool. Click and drag that into our assets folder, right under app icon. So in this little sidebar here. Let go, and it should be in there now. I'm going to rename it, and you can do that by first selecting it. So click on it so it's blue. Alright, make sure it's blue. Then click on it once more, only once, and you should be able to change the name. I'm going to name mine Eclipse. Nice. Something shorter, cleaner, nicer looking. Go back to your code now, which is what? ViewController.swift. We can enter single view screen mode. So whereas I see two things, my left and right sides, I just want to focus on one file, which is my code. So I'm going to go to the top right, click on the paragraph looking icon. Great, now we're focused on our code. We are inside of view.load, this function right here. Why? Because we're running code that happens when the app loads. The name says it says view.load, so this runs at stage 2 of the app, as I previously talked about. If not, go back to the previous videos and I talk about what functions are and when they run. Just think of this as a mini program, and it doesn't run 100% of the time. It only runs when it's called, and it's only called at specific stages in the app, this being 2. So go under my text.text or whatever you named your UI label. It could be something different from my text, but regardless it should look like this. And last time I set it to hello world. Go under that, so hit enter, create a new line. What did you call your image view? We called our UI label, which is like a text box, my text. I called the image view my image. You might have named it something different. I'm going to type in my image. And Xcode will recommend to autocomplete, and that is a good thing. It means Xcode knows where you are. That's a good place to be. Hit enter, let it complete it for you. Hit the period. What do we want to change about this image view, about my image? Well, for the UI label before, we wanted to change the text, which I'm highlighting right here, .text. In this case, we're not changing text, we're changing an image. So type an image. Alright, that pops up too, that's good. Hit enter. Space, =, space. Type in the name of the image. Go back to the assets folder, I called mine Eclipse. I'm going to go back and type in Eclipse. You see the image pops up. The icon is right here. It's very tiny. Hit enter. And go back to the main.storyboard, run your app, and you should be good to go. Now you have an image inside of your app. One more thing before you run it. This was in a previous video, but always make sure that the simulator you're running is the same as the iPhone you're going to run this on. So in the simulator, if it's an iPhone SE, click in the top left here, change this to an iPhone SE. Now click the play button to run your app, and you're well on your way to seeing an image pop up in your app.